Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to a whole new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to a whole new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to a whole new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain.
Touch screaming louder, giving range. Few birds in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber is rolling, the fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need.
And welcome back to Nerd TV for another OP ButtKicker Grand National Series live from the simulated Talladega SuperSpeedway as we get our countdown to green started and underway. Presented by, of course, Icon Apparel Company, where we are on race number 3 of round number 1 of the playoffs here with the Gen 4 cars, Talladega. These things are going to be a blast to watch, and it's going to be a lot of fun for these drivers to drive. Here's your weather. Typical Talladega, 84 degrees, 60% humidity, partly cloudy, and about 5-mile-an-hour wind, so nothing too drastic there to worry about. My name, of course, is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty on the interwebs, and Dustin Lauxton, aka Ballistic, if he even goes by that anymore. As I know him, the man of the thousand hats, and as Rockefeller knows him as Walter White. Whatever ego he wants to choose, that's his choice. What's up, man?
Oh, ready to see the last race of the new Gen 4s at my favorite track, Talladega. Plenty of room. Gonna see lots of 3-wide racing. It's gonna be a good show, Jeremy, but the talk of the night is points, points, points.
No way.
And yeah, no way. I know, big surprise, right? I mean, it's the last race. We are going from 16 down to 8. So a lot of drivers are on the cusp of it. Some drivers and names that you're used to seeing up comfortably in the top 8 are sitting outside the top 8, like a one Mr. Gabe Butler, Anthony English. So drivers haven't had the best of luck in the opening 2 races with this Gen 4 at Daytona and 08 Daytona, or as we call it, Bumpy Daytona. They're going to have to show up or show out, one of the two tonight for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I'm kind of looking at the points right now. There is 5 drivers, Dustin, that have all 15 races of the season started. Those 5 drivers are outside of the cut line. They're all in, but they're all out for the round starting next week. So,
one being your most winningest driver this season so far is below the cut line.
yeah, the one who stole the show earlier this season, who won the first 3 of the 4 races, was just dominant. And then the midseason lull happened and all that stuff, plus 1 extra win late in the going. And that, of course, is Mark Mann, 4 wins for this guy. The only guy that has scored more than 2 wins, he's got 4. Can he somehow sneak his way in tonight? My vote is yes, but we haven't seen it in the first 2 races with this Gen 4 car, which has been the car of choice for round 1 by us. He's struggling a little bit in these things.
Yeah, yep. I mean, he's 1 point below that cut line right now. I mean, he just has to have a solid finish, Jeremy. And what has happened the first 2 races is a lot of these drivers, these playoff drivers, have found themselves in the wrong place at the right time, so to speak, and have been caught up in incidents, and it's costly right now. It is hurting them. We've seen our first playoff driver punch his ticket into the playoffs, that being none other than Zach Fritsch last week at Bumpy Daytona, and an awesome finish there. He's locked in. He is completely locked in right now. The other drivers, there's still, for the most part, probably your top 4. Probably through Guerrero, are probably pretty comfortable right now. Everybody else, depending on what happens, I mean, it could be up for grabs right now.
Yep, it's super speedway racing too, so absolutely anything's up for grabs. First time we've seen this track car combo, I think, so there's a lot of variables here. 3 wide, definitely a possibility. These cars draft very well. The runs are going to be super strong off corner exit, and we're going to have a blast with it as it's crunch time. You're in or you're out tonight to get to the round of 8. So moves will be had that you typically won't see. You might hear me talk about some radio chatter because, people might get a little upset or a
Aggression
little happy
levels are
from that,
definitely going to be
microphone, right?
raised. They're definitely going to be raised.
So we'll find out. We have 70 laps to figure that out. But qualifying is underway. So we're going to get our cameras off your screen, go full screen for this session. Race number 16 tonight, which is the Chevy Land at Dega. I was trolling Dustin here with the name. Chevy Land 500, Chevy something. I came up with a bunch of names, but either way, it is up there on your upper right-hand corner of the screen. That, of course, means Bubba Winningham is the guy who is sponsoring tonight's race.
Absolutely, and we appreciate all of the race sponsors throughout all of this season. We still got 3 more races to cover and bring at you for this season before we crown our ButtKicker Grand National Series champion for this season. But again, much appreciate every driver that has stepped in and sponsored and allowed us to bring the coverage to you guys and the fans out there, as well as the drivers, because we know that they like to go back and watch the shenanigans and the fun that we have up here in the booth, Jeremy.
And we bring a lot of it. If we bring the energy, it's fun. If I come in dead tired, well, I apologize. But I think fun is in store for this evening. Speaking of fun, rotate to Derek Donna's car. We talked about it very briefly in our before we went live, rather. And I just love this car. It's a Finger Blaster's Chicken, which that name in itself is amazing. But then the front of the car, he's got a big grin about it. This car knows everything about finger blasting with those chickens. However you want to take that, but this car's looking good out here.
Oh my goodness, I love it, man. That is an awesome sponsor. I'm getting some Cars vibes there with the smile. But that smile may not be as pretty white by the time this race is done, because those front bumpers are going to be used, Jeremy. Momentum in these cars are a huge, huge thing. And you're going to see bump drafting. You're going to see tandem drafting. In some cases, you might see a little slam drafting. Yes, those things are all 3 different aspects of restrictor plate racing. Probably wouldn't recommend the slam drafting. Has not worked out too well thus far in the first 2 races, so we'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, even though these cars have that tall bumper, which back in the day you could slam the guy in front of you and it wouldn't budge him. But iRacing, being a simulation software, is still a computer software. It's not real physics to the T. So sometimes the bumper through the hitbox will go underneath and cause a bump, or a little net code or something of that nature. So you can't necessarily get away with that as much as you could in the real world, but you definitely have a comfort level that you would not have in the older style Gen 4 car, or even let's say like the Xfinity per se, so where they don't completely align. So there's a little more comfort there. But when you do lock bumpers, you can tandem for a little bit, but these cars get so hot so quick, and these guys learned quickly not to blow their engines. But Dustin, we saw that last week before the stage break, even before the first round of pit stops. We saw a caution and someone blow up at the same time. I forget who it was, maybe Gabe Butler possibly. I forget the driver, but they blew up before lap 20, so they know to keep these things cool.
Oh, absolutely. And something else, you talked about bump drafting and that ever looming net code. There's also something in the world of iRacing known as a shotgun draft. It has been caught a couple times on some of our productions and broadcasts, but it's when a bump draft is initiated or a slam draft and net code hits at the same time, and you will see that lead car jump up like 13 mile an hour, 14 mile an hour. We have some crazy stuff happen from time to time, so this is all something that we have to keep in the back of our minds.
Man.
But it's gonna be. I can tell you right now, Jeremy, I 110% agree with you that there's gonna be moves, people slicing and dicing, maybe putting their cars in tighter situations than they typically would have in tonight's race, with so much going on and so much riding on it. So aggression levels, folks, I would probably expect to be heightened a little bit tonight.
I hope we don't see the first slam shotgun draft, whatever you just called that. I have seen it before with you. Yes, I've also seen it on YouTube and other replay clips. But hopefully we don't see it tonight, because just imagine if you're like 6th place on the outside trying to make a move, and all of a sudden you get shotgun to the race lead. I don't think the guy in was in first place moves to second. I don't think he's going to be happy about that. So that would not be fair. But Dustin, we are going gridding. So before we go count drivers on the grid here, we're going to go thank our sponsor, the one who presents this race each week, Icon Apparel Company. You're going to go to iconapparelcompany.com. If you're looking for racing gloves, they still produce them. If you're looking for an esports jersey, you can create them. If you're looking for an embroidered hat customized with your logo, they can make them. So all that at a great price, plus 25% off when you use our code SuperNerd, and that's at iconapparelcompany.com. And here we go. Grading for race number 16 or race number 3, depending on if you're counting the playoff races or not. Jeff Crosby Jr. taking pole with Adam Kilday in second. Vicente Guerrero in third. Lane Everett in fourth. Jimmy Reynolds in fifth. Zach Fritsch, P6. Row 4, Anthony English in seventh. Rick Sanchez in eighth. Les Levy ninth. And Dana Shepard starts in 10th. Row 6, you'll find Jimmy Hoppep and Eric Lowry. Row 7, Gabe Butler, Dave Hunt. Row 8, Nathan Warren, Jeff Crosby Sr. Row 9, Derek Donna and Dwayne Corbett. Row 10, Harold Rothery and Sean McCara. Row 11, and the last guy to take qualifying time is Gary Bergeron. And then Rick Seabrands in 22nd. Everybody else filed in by their I rating, highest to lowest. That's Stephen Luttrell, Steve Rada, Mark Mann, Christopher Jordan, Andrew Schroeder, Len McNeese, and Douglas Johnson. Total of 29 entries. 4 did not post any time in practice, but they're still grading. So hopefully these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, and one thing I want you to take a look at, Jeremy, and this is vital. We talk about qualifying being so important right now. So take a look at your top 10 and take a look at your playoff drivers. Every one of them in the top 10, with the exception of Mr. Les Levy, is a playoff driver. So 9 of your top 10, so 9 of your 16 drivers right now are starting in the top 10 for tonight's race. So you can expect to know what is in the back of every one of these playoff drivers' minds. They know what's at stake right now.
They sure do, and we'll pop that up multiple times, hopefully throughout the night, to keep you up to date. It does not update in real time. However, it gives you an idea, and you can do the math. Each position is 1 point, plus stage, 1 point, plus winning the race, 1 point. So there you go. And I see Stephen Luttrell on our YouTube, Dustin, before the race took grid. He doesn't have to start tonight. He's already missed 4 starts, but he's going to race tonight and then say, hopefully someone takes me out early, put me out of my misery. Why would someone who has not made every single race and is not in the playoffs, why would you start and then say, take me out of my misery?
Because I don't like speaking for anybody, but I feel in the back of Stephen Luttrell's mind, he knows what is going to take place tonight. He knows how tough this race is going to be with the playoff drivers. He knows the impending possible chaos that could be taking place in tonight's race. So that's just my take on it. I could be 110% wrong on that, but it's going to be a wild one. There's a lot at stake tonight, Jeremy, and we cannot stress that enough.
William Luttrell said he'll be okay when he calms down. He might calm down on lap 60, lap 70, maybe in 5 laps, who knows. Pace car is down, though, 33, taking the green flag here this evening. We're going to take this long journey across the tri-oval before we get to start this thing. And here we go. Green flag is out. Go through the gears, hopefully, nice and smooth. And then watch the run that the outside gets here in the first lap, starting around turn 3. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah. Now, again, these are very momentum-driven cars. As it sits, as long as that second lane, not even factoring in the third lane yet, but as long as that second lane can maintain momentum, they should be the rotating lane. As you see, both Kilday and Everett Lane double clear as they tandem draft. They move down in front of Crosby Jr. there. That's going to leave Zach Fritsch leading that high line with the 5 of Rick Sanchez back there. And that is going to be a normality tonight. They're going to be cycling through as long as they can do that. The only time it's not going to be like that is when we're getting close to green flag pit stops and everybody moves to the inside, or when they're 3 wide like that. That's when it's going to get interesting, and that's when temperature management is going to be key.
Dwayne Corbett and Sean McCara already trying the 3rd lane in the back. It did not work. They fall back in line on the outside, 2 wide, resuming off of turn 2. 1 lead change already in store as Adam Kilday did lead that first lap of the night here. He's got Mr. Everett Lane, who's continuing his hunt for the first ever win at OP. And he keeps running so well up at the front. But can he finally get a race win underneath his belt? Here he goes to the outside, going to take a swooping action over the 85. And just like that, 24 to the point.
Oh, Vicente Guerrero around.
Oh, no. Yes, he is. Restay green flag momentarily. No caution because he's in the infield. This is going to hurt in backwards practice a little bit here.
Yeah, backwards practice. The thing is, as long as he can maintain on the lead lap, or if he does go a lap down, if he's the only one a lap down, we do have that stage break at the end of, or at the completion of lap 35, and this just looks like a bump, off-center bump from the 17 by the looks of it, of Jimmy Reynolds as Vicente Guerrero was coming back down. Jimmy tried to follow him, and then Vicente moved up to follow the 33 as they were moving up about a half a lane, and contact was made, and off and around the 14 goes at Vicente Guerrero. Excellent job keeping it down there in the grass, though. Lawn care personnel probably not too happy because he's tearing the crap out of that grass, but excellent job.
Yeah, just a little too much motion downward or across the nose 17, and off he goes. And as we cross the line that time, our 3rd lead change, and that number will drastically grow even through the first half of this race. Rick Sanchez was able to lead that lap by, but then Everett Lane back to the lead, and he's going to go up the track to cool off Zach Fritsch, who's already locked into the round of 8. He's going to try to take a stab at the race lead. He's going to get great help with the 85 of Adam Kilday. Remember, Kilday, caution flag is out, Dustin. Not a wreck from the main pack, but we're going to see this with Gary Bergeron, the last guy in the playoffs. Position 16 on the back straightaway. Going to get an off-kilter bump by Andrew Schroeder, and it sends him to the infield.
Yeah, and that one there almost very reminiscent of what happened with Vicente Guerrero, only flip-flopped. It looked like the one of Bergeron was going low to try to follow the 04 of Mark Mann, and Schroeder was going high to try to follow in tow with the 1, and just an off-center bump, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that was a little less motion from the 1 car per se, but the 48 just I mentioned it in the pre-race, the bumps. You can't simulate the real world with them, and there's a little more fragile, if you want to say, a little more sensitive on those bumpers. And so these guys are still kind of learning. This is our 4th race starting, and so we're not accustomed to it like years and years of Xfinity and trucks. Like, we know what those are, right? But these are still new. So we're still learning. You get high suction rates, so the delta closes up real quick. And then you have to figure out how to get the squared bump at the same time. And just it's a learning curve for these guys still.
Yeah, they're still learning, and you said it perfectly, Jeremy. It's that closing rate that's still catching these drivers off canter a little bit at how fast these cars do close up. I mean, it almost seems like you're struggling, and then all of a sudden that barrier's broken, and these things they close up like crazy, and it's catching a lot of the drivers off, out of sorts a little bit. The big person who gained on that one there was the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, though, as he was way off the pace. That's going to close him right back up. He gets another stab. We did see some damage to the 999 or 1 on the side of the car. of Gary Bergeron, who is a playoff driver, needs to have a solid finish to even potentially have a chance, and that's not how you want to start off the final race in the round of 1.
Yeah, Adam Kilday had that engine blow up early last week and was able to recover nicely. So now the one has to use his fast repair really quick. And let's see if he can do the same thing and recover nicely tonight. As we still have our 4 different leaders amongst 4 different lead changes at this time. 1 caution falling on lap 5. And we're going to take this time to think of one of our partners. And iRacingIFlag.com is up next. Jeff has not partaken in our broadcast recently, but that's okay. So here he is. He has his 2 products. One, which has been his staple and been out for years, which is iRacing iFlag. That's your notification light system that gives you all the iRacing notifications on a 64 LED display. And then iRacing iDash, which is still being worked on. We have the beta products. They work wonderfully. We just got to get them produced and then up for sale. And then these things are going to be a hot item to get. Absolutely. So that's going to be at iRacingIFlag.com.
Yeah, as they are working their way around, they will get the 1 to go this time by. I would expect most everybody to come down to top off, or at least a good portion of them. Certain drivers, Jeremy, that I would expect to see up there battling hard for those Covenant stage points. It's going to be pretty much most of your playoff drivers, especially those that are on the outside looking in. It would be contrary to the way that he typically runs, but I would expect Mark Mann, Gabe Butler, Anthony English, Everett Lane, Eric Laurie, Dana Shepard, Len McNeese, Gary Bergeron, if they want to maximize their chances at busting that threshold and getting in the top 8, when it comes down to crunch time towards the end of stage 1, they're gonna have to be up there battling in that top 10 to secure some vital points, because if you're not at that point in time, Jeremy, there's no point in you even trying to make the playoffs in the round of 8 for the next 2 weeks in Xfinity, because they need them at this point in time.
Very important to keep your mindset in this race to A, finish the race, and B, maximize your finishing position, because it might or might not send you into the round of 8. And we're still very early on. Remember, if you haven't tuned in recently, stage break on the conclusion of lap 35, or if there's a caution within a 5-lap window prior to that. So lap 31, if there is a caution, boom, it is stage. So just keep that notated as we have 70 complete laps to go. 2 attempts at a green-white checker if necessary. As we're getting a little fun rear window camera, which I don't know if Dustin just decided to make this overnight, but I don't think this has ever been displayed.
Well, you know what? We partner with with Whiplash SimCam. They bring us some excellent camera angles. We love using their product, and it really puts the viewers into the mindset as we look out the rear windshield of Everett Lane as they get ready to come back to the restart zone as they're working their way, like you said, through that long tri-oval to get to that restart zone. Everett Lane, Adam Kilday leading it. Green flag flies. We're back underway, working lap 7 of 70.
Here we go. 24 to the point, 5 lead changes here as Zach Fritsch gave up the lead with quite a bit of other people to top off their fuel tank on the last lap before the green flag. He gets a nice little breakaway between himself and the 5. He's going to go up to the top and block the 85 a little bit. Let's see if the 85 responds. He does. Takes the run to the outside with the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. Going to double clear the 24. Both presumably going to go all the way to the bottom, which they do. Now here comes Steve Rader, the man with no practice time, the man with no qualifying time. Starts down near the rear of the field, and here he is with Sean McCarra inside the top 5, trying to get the outside going.
Absolutely, and you talked about drivers that came down to top off. Not a bad idea, Jeremy. Every one of these drivers is going to have to pit. If we go from here all the way to the end of stage 1, every driver is going to have to pit one time in order to make it on fuel. Those drivers that elected to come down a second time, well, guess what? That means that's less fuel on that mandatory green flag pit stop that every driver is going to have to make, that their virtual crew is going to have to put and pack in that car. That means less time on pit road. Not a bad strategy, Cole.
Yep, not bad. You don't burn too much on a caution lap, but at the same time, it's still about a half a lap's worth of fuel. So important, just in case if the caution does fall a certain way and you need to stretch that half a lap, you got it now in the tank. As we're going to complete lap number 9 to start lap 10. Is it going to be the 85 or the 24? It is going to be Everett Lane for the third time tonight. Going to be P1 in this race as he keeps to the outside with Steve Rada, Sean McCara, and the 62 of Len McNeese behind him.
That's the 62 of Les Levy, not Len McNeese.
No, I get those always mixed up. That's the 84.
That's the
I know
84.
what I'm doing here.
As the 24 Everett Lane does get cleared from pushes from the 03 of Steve Rada. That's going to put Everett Lane in front of Kilday as your pusher on the inside. Steve Rada is leader of the second lane with Sean McCara, your pusher in that second lane. Third lane starting to form back there a little bit as Gary Bergeron trying to move forward. He's got Gabe Butler and Eric Lowry, and now Les Levy up there in that third lane. So a lot of moving and a shaking right now as Kilday jumps to that middle lane.
Look at the run from the one of Gary Bergeron there. He took just a couple of drivers, and he's not playing it easy, Dustin. He's up there 3 wide, just hashing out. He's already used that fast repair. He doesn't care if he's in the playoffs or not. He needs stage points, so he is marching to the front in a hurry. And look at this. He's inside the top 10, almost the top 5 at this point. And Steve Rada makes the swap to the inside to cool off the guys on the outside. Can he get his first lap led here tonight, or is he going to go back to the 24, maybe even the 62? Let's leave him makes attempts as Gary all over the back bumper.
Yeah, Steve Rada went from uptown, skipped midtown, and went straight to downtown on that move there. And it looks like the 03 Steve Rada is going to be your new race leader. But that high line, that third lane with pushing from the 999 to Gary Bergeron starting to make some moves as they get close to pinch to work that side draft.
Oh, a lot of movement there on the top lane. Moves down almost into the 24's door panel there. 3 wide for the first 6 or 7 rows. 24 gets shoved out. Ooh, big move there by Les. Hang on to it there as they get to turn 3. Still contactless, even though there's a lot of motion through this field, Dustin. That's a lot of air turbulence. I'm presuming that's moving these cars around.
Yeah, and then, I mean, depending on the bumps as well, I mean, it is hard to try to judge what the driver in front of you is going to do. And if they slightly move at the time you're trying to give them a bump, that is going to offset that car a little bit. As look at the tandem drafting from Everett Lane and Steve Rada as they move and lurch forward there a little bit. They got a car length and a half or so in between them and Jeff Crosby Jr., but that's going to close back up from the draft. But, folks, that goes to show you that if 2 cars can link up, that tandem draft is a real thing.
It absolutely can be for a half a lap before the engine wants to just quit live. Steve doing a great job managing the tire or the air temp there on the engine as he's over the back bumper now. But when he gets to straightaway, he dips that nose about a quarter out to cool off a little bit. But he's going to stay to the inside, going to help Everett Lane cross the line. And just to notate, we've had 10 lead changes in the first 13 laps, if you want to know how volatile the lead is.
Oh, yeah, and big moves there, but you see Adam Kilday working that second lane to the outside of Steve Rada right now, and this is where that temperature, you've seen Steve lay way off the 24 as he gives Everett Lane a big shot in the rear bumper. He was trying to get all of the air that he could to that front nose to cool it off, so drivers already having temperature control on the back of their minds.
Sean McCara hold on to that thing. Almost tagged the side of the 3 car. 0-3 for that matter. And here we go. So he's going to lead this lap. Is he going to go back to Kilday? Is he going to go back to Everett Lane. These two have been hot swapping this position all night long so far to start this thing. Everett Lane leads lap 14, 3 wide for the race lead once more.
Yeah, 3 wide, and that's going to be the 09 of Jimmy Hopp is up there with Gary Bergeron, the only 2 cars on that top side. But look at that momentum as they sit here and rock it there on that high side, Jeremy. That third lane is going to be dangerous if you've got the right personnel up there.
Yeah, that just shows you how strong that tandeming is. 2 cars, doesn't matter if you're going against 20 on the bottom. They're going to shove their way almost to the race lead. Gary has to lift. Now this is going to send those cars back if they cannot follow in lane. 3 wide once more as Kilday goes to the inside of the 24. Slingshots himself past Everett, but not enough. The 09 is going to go from 8th to 1st in 1 lap.
What a run on that high side. You've seen Gary Bergeron clear from top side all the way down to the bottom. That allowed Jimmy Hopp to go from top side to mid in front of Everett Lane. That's going to leave the 18 of Harold Rothery up there by himself. But what a momentum change from that high side, Jeremy. They did that with 3 cars up there. That just shows you that as long as those guys can maintain the momentum, that high side is going to be a weapon tonight.
You saw it. They just showed you in full detail what 2 cars can do. They're going 8 positions from 8th to 1st, and he brought Gary Bergeron in the car number 1 with him. And for the first time tonight, at least almost, Kilday couldn't get to the back bumpers quickly as Everett Lane pushes Hop back to the race lead for 2 laps in a row. Everett Lane goes to the inside now. Sean McCarroll is going to take that spot right in front of Gary. Gives the 24 a shot in the center of the corner, propelling him a decent distance. But here comes the 215, Derek Donna. Big shove to the 09, puts him back, solely the race leader.
Yeah, Derek Donna working his way up right now, and Jimmy Hopp getting the big pushes, trying to get clear there a little bit. Not quite, still has to maintain. But I tell you what, though, I mean, these drivers are working this draft. Oh no!
Zach Fritsch, bad bump to Derek Donna is going to send this thing into caution as Everett Lane's going to lead the field to the yellow flag. Man, oh man, bad bump at the race lead. This could have taken out 10-plus cars, but thankfully only a couple involved.
Yeah, and unfortunately that is going to be heavy, heavy damage to the 215. That was heavy, heavy impact, and right there you see the bumper scrub as the 215 was drifting high there a little bit, probably trying to get some air on the front nose as he'd been pushing Jimmy Hopp for about a lap and a half. And it was, like I said, in Zach Fritsch's, seat, he doesn't know when the 215 is going to move up like that, so he's just trying to maintain and just trying to bump. And sometimes timing is just the worst thing when it comes to this. The 215 drifted up to get a little air. At the same time, the 12 of Fritsch was lining up for a bump draft.
A lot of damage to the 215, presumably going to be using his fast repair early on in this race. We're going to take it to our first picture-in-picture commercial break, gather it back up right before the green flag. We will be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
And back to full screen. Half a lap left before we go back to green flag, resuming the Chevrolet at Dega, sponsored by Bubba Winningham. On lap 21 is the restart number, which means we're going to have 15 laps to go between the green flag and the yellow flag, which will signal the halfway mark of tonight's race and the winner of stage. So these guys with 15 laps remaining, Dustin, that means no pit stops required. They should have plenty enough fuel to make it to the end. If not, they're going to be running dry, but we'll find out here in 15 laps, as we have not seen a full fuel cycle yet at Talladega and the Gen 4 cars. Should be similar to Daytona, of course, but the speeds are a little faster. So I don't know if we have that accurate data just yet, as we don't have telemetry from in each individual car. There we go. 24 is going to lead the pack to the green flag, who's been the leader for the most part of this race. Green flag is back. A lot of drivers on the inside lane, surprisingly, about 6 on the outside.
Yeah, a lot of drivers came down to top off because they should be able to make the distance on fuel, but depending on how hard you're running, like if you're Everett Lane right now, running up there, breaking the wind, you're going to be burning more fuel. So a lot of drivers elected to come down and top off, get that extra half a lap that we would typically burn. Everett Lane goes from bottom side to mid, now back down to bottom. Harold Rothery is going to lead that that midline with the 53 of Dave Hunt back there trying to push. Steve Rada back there, third lane coming in. Gary Bergeron, Sean McCara trying to work that third lane, and here comes the 15. Jeff Crosby Sr. as McCara jumps back down to the center.
There we go. So here we go. See who's going to lead this lap here. Either way, it's going to be a new race leader. And the 53 is going to go from fourth to first. Dave Hunt, welcome to the race lead on lap 22.
Yeah, excellent pushing from that center lane there, that mid lane, rotating out the leaders. Now that's going to leave the 03 of Steve Rada in that center lane with the 84 of Len McNeese, playoff driver that needs to have a good finish. And then the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, driver who you've seen go through and help the lawn care people mow that infield grass at the start of the race. Now up here in the top 10, Jeremy battling it out. And wouldn't you know it, as we're nearing the end of stage 1.
Our Brez Coffee Co. caffeine team member of the night, the 03 of Steve Rada. Does not have a camera, of course, but at least we have a hot mic anytime we want it. Speaking of which, man, massive movement between himself in the 84 of now corrected Len McNeese, as Dave Hunt does lead that lap as well. But Steve right there has a nose advantage over that 53. Can he get his car fully ahead? Man, Len McNeese all over the back bumper. Don't turn him. Good solid pushes down the back straightaway, 3 wide, still mid-pack. Steve drops to the bottom, gives the 84 fresh air.
Yeah, and as that's going on, that third lane coming in, led by the 88 of Gabe Butler, Gary Bergeron, Jimmy Hop, and then you got the 5 of Rick Sanchez and the 071 of Eric Lowry back there as well. Those drivers getting the third lane going. Len McNeese, a lot of space between him and Vicente Guerrero right now as he tries to move up, but that third lane, the delta separation just too much, and they're going to rocket by on that high side.
Oh, the 18 almost gets turned. They're trying to let him merge back up, and they do, but it's going to really slow up the back half inside lane as they get it going. No caution to be found that time through turns 1 and 2. That's a sketch for sure. You see a lot of drivers spaced out all over the place here on the front straightaway getting to turn 3. Look at this, Dustin. They're all over the map.
They are all over. That checkup that took place did not help the inside line, but at the same time, Len McNeese and the space between him and Vicente Guerrero, that slowed that momentum up, and that top side rocketed through, and then they tried to merge back in, and Jeremy, we got cars all over the place right now as Gary Bergeron takes the race lead. Rick Sanchez trying to hold up there until Vicente Guerrero gets up there for help.
As that becomes your 9th different leader amongst 15 lead changes in 24 laps. 3 wide for second row, as it could be for the race lead, as the 09's done this before. He did it with Gary Bergeron last time. Now can Jimmy Hop do it with the likes of the 071 of Eric Lowry and the 24 Everett Lane? 3 cars on the top so far. They're falling back a little bit. Doesn't look like they're going to have that momentum. Sanchez, sole possession of the race lead.
Yeah, Sanchez has got that half a car length lead right now over Vicente Guerrero. Now he's splitting the 2 lines as he's running down the straightaway to see which one's going to have the run. He elects to go down to the low side in front of Gary Bergeron. That's going to open the midline for the 14 of Guerrero. He's got help behind him from the 71 of Sean McCara. That center lane trying to get something working right now. Highline still trying to get formulated. You got Jimmy Hop up there still getting big pushes from the 071 of Eric Lowry.
Yes. Oh, no, not anymore. He slams the outside wall twice. He's going to back it down. Eric Lowry had to back it down. They couldn't swap the second driver, so he was overheating for sure. So that was going to fail. But now they're going to really just have to reset things 2 wide once more throughout the whole field, minus Jimmy Hop trying to get filed in. Sole driver on the third lane at the race lead. It looks like at the line. It's still going to be, Vicente Guerrero with a direct tie, 0.000 race lead change to the 14.
Yeah, what a rebound from just 7 laps into the race. What 20 laps will do for a driver spinning through the infield to now race lead. We are nearing the end of stage 1, Jeremy, and those covenant stage points that a lot of these playoff drivers need. And wouldn't you know it, look at a lot of those purple spoilers up there battling for these positions right now, is Rick Sanchez still has that lead as they work their way off of turn 4, but now that midline starting to get a little bit of momentum, but is it going to be enough, or is Sanchez going to lead himself another lap?
Purple on your end, blue on mine. We talked about my discrepancies of color on my center monitor, but the 5 back to the race lead barely, and quickly gets shipped outside of not first, not second, but back to 3rd, possibly 4th. Off of turn 2, they're scattering all over the place, Dustin. They don't know where they want to be. They're just hanging on for survival for the next 7 laps.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Nespai says the number 5 Sanchez peeps gathering in the stands, and we have been keeping an eye on the chats, folks. We apologize we haven't been shouting you out like we normally do, but the race in action, as we predicted, has been off the charts tonight. A lot of movement, a lot of shaking, and we're trying to cover everything for you guys.
and they're just having fun conversation. I was just actually just letting them have it for a little bit there, talking to one another, which is very cool to do. Use it as a chat box. That's what it's intended for. So I love it. Keep using it. I have to scroll already, Dustin, to look through all the comments. That's a cool sign there. But lap 29 underway. The 14 did lead that lap as well. So 2 laps led for Vicente Guerrero as they're still trying. Now the outside diminishes once more with the 9 and the 3 for a little bit. Sean McCara and the 43 of Dana Shepard are trying it from the center lane to see if maybe the 71 can lead the first lap for himself tonight.
Yeah, Dana Shepard in that taco smell car trying to give every bit of that fire sauce to the rear bumper of the 71 of Sean McCara as they're trying to get something going. They got Nate Warren back behind them, and then Les Levy is the 4th car in line on that center lane. 2 cars to the outside. Jimmy Hopp, Steve Rada is they're 3 wide right now. Len McNeese is the meat in the sandwich there. That's going to get worked out. Back up front, Vicente Guerrero, Everett Lane, neck and neck down the stretch.
When they get to the start-finish line, Dustin, this will signify the 5 to go before stage, and if there's a caution, after they cross this line this time, it'll be end of that stage. So let's see who's going to lead it this time around. The 14 led 3 laps in a row. Oh, they cannot make it on fuel. They are going to be a touch bit short. We got quite a few drivers coming down. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this time.
Yeah, well, and one thing that we didn't factor in, Jeremy, was the fact that it's not just making it to the conclusion of lap 35. They also have to go all the way around the track and catch the pace car and make it back to pit road. If they run out of fuel in that time frame, it does them no good. They lose their position. So that is something that we did not factor in as you see that second lane really starting to move right now. So I would expect to see some more cars as, super close between Dana Shepard and Les Levy as they were side drafting there. Coming off of turn 4, we have more takers. Sanchez coming down. Steve Rada coming down.
Oh, Steve. Oh, Steve hit that so perfectly. I thought he was going to speed. Sorry to cut you off there. He made a late decision to make it down there, locks it up. But, man, I think he made it at 71 miles an hour. He might get tagged for it. We'll find out.
We will find out if he stays there longer, and it looks like he is. So it looks like he did get a tag. Good thing is we do have stage break coming up, so he'll be able to re-rack it and restack it back up. But back up at the front, Jimmy Hopp leading the way, 43. Dana Shepard in second right now, giving him the push. These drivers all lined up right now, with the exception of Doug Johnson out there on that outside line, just above the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. And these drivers still staying in it right now, Jeremy. So my question is, are they going to try to push it? Or it's a gamble at this point in time. But that might be why drivers like Vicente Guerrero, who was up front leading, is now more so in the wake of some of these other drivers trying to conserve some fuel as well.
I don't be the guy who spoils the fun, but Jimmy Hopp said, I'm coming down this time. So we know at least he is coming down pit road. Who else? I don't know. Who can make it? I don't know. We're going to figure out this answer in 2.5 laps. Watch the 0. Now, he's already called his pit road, so that means he should be bringing in some friends with him. 1, 2, 3, 4 total is 14. Vicente Guerrero. You can't be pressing the brake pedal while above the yellow lane. Looked like he did that, but he did it safely enough. 5 cars in this time.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If none of these drivers can make it on fuel to the end of stage, the drivers that short pitted and came in first might be in the best position. But again, there's an unknown variable. We don't know. It's going to be close. We don't know which one of these driver or drivers will be able to stretch it to the end if it's possible. We talked about after pits that it was going to be close, but how close, Jeremy? We're unsure of that.
Pit road closed this time. Drivers cannot enter. They are locked into it. If they try to come down pit road, they will be flagged. Not single one gets to it. White flag, going to be one to go before stage end here. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the 43, the 62, or the 388? That's your three leading contenders. We also have a good chance of someone from fourth place on back doing a slingshot, but they're giving themselves a lot of space as you see the race. EPI.com race telemetry, Dustin.
They
These guys
backed
are off.
way off. Way off. They are saving.
They're usually about 195 right here, and they're 182. So they are off by 15 to 20 miles an hour on the backstretch. They are feathering these things.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes Len McNeese.
Yeah, they are trying everything they can to extend it out. Len McNeese coming up right now. Playoff driver. Caution is out. That will be staged. The question is when that caution came out, who was in the lead? Was it Len McNeese in the 84, or was it the 43 of Dana Shepard?
Oh, man, last second call to come down pit road. They're going to see a penalty for the 62, 388, 1, and 43. It's still, pit roads were closed. I don't think they're reopening. At least, I don't know how that rule works. There's not an official stage setup on iRacing. So when they close pit road, is it for 1 lap? Is it for 2 laps? They might get tagged. I'm not too sure here. This might be a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, we'll have to see exactly how this is going to work out. Admins do have the ability to close pit road, but for how long, we do not know at that point in time. So as it sits, the 43 who was up there has relinquished that. It is showing Len McNeese right now as the race leader. So it's looking like the 84 might have pulled that out on that last-ditch effort with help from the 18.
Yes, I'm looking at the time the pace car lights turned on. The 43 of Dana Shepard was the race leader by maybe 5/1000ths, maybe a hundredth of a second. But the 43 did make that cut down pit road.
So he relinquishes
he sacrificed it because he probably got that penalty on top of it. Maybe not from the game, but maybe from the admins. He's going to get a penalty for coming down a closed pit road. So he probably relinquished it. So I'm just going to safely say that the 84 is going to be your stage winner.
Absolutely. I mean, and it was close. We knew it was close. But stage points, I mean, those things are ever vital. I mean, you have to risk it for the biscuit, Jeremy, especially at this point in time now. This is the last chance going from the round of 16 to the round of 8, going from round 1 to round 2. I mean, if you have a chance at it, I would have done the exact same thing that Dana Shepard did if the stage points were needed as much as what they were. Absolutely. I would not second guess that call at all.
Yeah, great effort there. We're going to go picture-in-picture real quick. I'm going to go talk to an admin, get the official ruling before we bring in stage winner, just so we know we're talking to the right person. So we'll be right back. right, back full screen here. 1 lap to go before we go to green flag. We did quickly review the rule book. Those 4 drivers who came down pit road at the end of the stage are black flagged without clearableness from the admins. So with that being said, the rule book states if you get a black flag, you forfeit that playoff point. So we're going to go talk to the 84 here, Len McNeese, who's led 1 lap, the only lap to get on that stage. He's in Team Channel 9. Just saying that for my personal reference. Len McNeese, this is Jeremy and Dustin in the Nerd TV booth. What's up?
Hey, how you doing up there?
Hey, we're doing good, man. Look at you leading 1 lap, and that's going to be lap 35, getting it done. Technically, I think the 43 had you, but he came down pit road not knowing the pit road was closed. So it gives it to you, man. Congrats on the stage win.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm trying to get all the points we can get tonight. I'm about 14 behind, and I don't know if I can even get enough to try to make it in the playoffs, but we'll give it what we can try.
That's all you can do, man. Let us know. You guys were feathering it on that last lap. How close
yeah.
were you to running out?
I had the .03 in the tank.
That full cycle back around, you could just burp the throttle and you'd be dry. That's impressive.
That was it. When I hit the pit road, it was .03. I said, I barely made it.
Oh, to the 100th.
Yes.
Man,
Hey, if you're going to do it, roll the dice. You got to get close, I guess, huh?
I love the call. Maybe it'll work in your favor when the race comes to the conclusion here in the next, 33 laps, 34 laps, something like that. So good luck to you, man. And, yeah, maybe we'll talk to you here in just a few.
Hey, I hope so. We're going to hope for just try to get up there and get a good finish. So
Go get him, man.
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, that was Len McNeese. Look at him. Everything he could try, and it worked for him. Can he do it in the end of this race, Dustin, to maximize his points?
I love the call. We were talking about it before. Those drivers, and they're in a make or break situation. He knows he needs the points. You heard it from him. He has 14 points out. Those 10 points right there, that is huge numbers when trying to close that gap right there. So I love the call. This is the type of racing I love when drivers and teams will make those risky calls when the time needs.
Gonna jump to the YouTube just real quick on the start. Belva Felt saying who is 111. And I don't know if you're referencing the one of the door of Gary Bergeron that has 3 stripes inside the number 1, which could maybe look like 111, but there's not an official 111 on track. So I just want to notate that as we get our first lap completely clean. 3 wide with that 1 car, Gary Bergeron. The 88 of Gabe Butler joins in. And Everett Lane in the 24. Now the 12 is going to join in, Zach Fritsch is. But at that time, the 09, Jimmy Hop for the 3rd time tonight, Dustin. Back to your race lead.
Yeah, Jimmy Hop has been up there since that initial 3rd line move. He goes for the block as Nate Warren goes to the top side. Jimmy Hop moved up there as well. Now he's going to move back down in front of the 03 of Steve Rada. So Hop now trying to control all 3 lanes. And Jeremy, that can be a dangerous combination as now we're 3 wide for second.
3 wide for second. The storm is a brewing. We've seen these guys do plenty. 3 wide is Mark Mann in the 04 who led a lap underneath the caution cycle coming down pit road early with Steven Luttrell, the man who said put himself out of misery. He's going to pit with the 4, drive through each other on pit road. This is kind of an odd. There's a wreck for the race lead. Nate Warren just wrecked Jimmy Hop.
Everett Lane gets collected.
The big one happening off of turn 2 on lap 41. Cars obliterated everywhere.
Oh my, a lot of playoff drivers getting pulled into that one. Man, that was the smartest call by Steven Luttrell and Mark Mann to come down pit road at that time because they were completely out of that situation because that started up front, Jeremy. That was... Wow, that was a lot of carnage.
I miscalled it. It's going to be the 16 going for the pass, the 09 Jimmy Hop going for the block. You
And
see
I-
the 16, he's going to come down and watch the 09. He's going to react directly to the inside move, and then it just not enough room. You can't do it. There's the downer turn. There's the block. There's the turn.
We talked
in front
about
of
this.
Everybody.
I just talked about this. I said trying to block like that is a dangerous, dangerous game. And that's exactly what happens right there. And Len McNeese involved in it. We just talked to him. There's the contact with Everett Lane. Everett Lane gets pulled into it. He gets a huge part of it. There you see the 44 of Anthony English, another playoff driver getting involved. Cuts back down. Man, and you see all kinds of carnage back here. Jimmy Reynolds involved, Doug Johnson, Dave Hunt, Eric Lowry involved. That's another playoff driver. Jeremy, this big-time playoff implications right now. And for some of these drivers, this is not what they wanted because this is how their first two races have gone. Dana Shepard there in the 43 involved as well.
Yeah, it's just way too much. Thankfully, a lot of these guys, it's been a very clean first half of the race, so they all have their fast repairs. You hate to burn it only halfway in the race or just slightly over halfway, but quite a few of them might have to press that check mark box to say, hey, just refresh me. I'll send it to the end. But everybody on pit road, everyone's going to need fuel here for the next stint, as there is the replay of probably the call of the night.
That's
Two
why
drivers
I'm
come
doing
down
it.
pit
Call
road.
of the night, because that's right where Markman was at. Probably would have been involved in it big time. Luttrell is back there around. Jimmy Reynolds probably would have been involved in it. So probably the best call of the night by the drivers of the 36 and the 04 coming down pit road that time. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. That was the call of the night right there because they dodged the big one.
William Luttrell, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that one. How Steven knew exactly what lap to pit on before the massive one off of turn 2. Led by a block from the 09 to the 16. I'd be curious to know why they came down pit road. Absolutely. See RBN podcast, he's on the chats now. Too early to be throwing those blocks. That's Zachary Workman. And Checker Flag Motorsports. I thought Dale Jr. was in the 09 for a few laps there. What do you think of that?
Yeah, well, I agree. I agree with Workman. I mean, and we touched base on it. It's too early to be throwing the blocks and trying to control 3 lanes like that. Even the best of the best struggle on that struggle bus, and that's the call for it. I mean, you can't hold 3 lanes. We've seen it happen in the real world, and it was just it was a pot waiting to boil over for sure.
Yeah, quick stat update too. Some of the biggest numbers I've seen so far in a while here. 25 lead changes in the first 43 laps. 15 different leaders. So that's over half the field has led a lap already tonight, and we're not even close to being finished. As we're going to have our next lead change with a 14 at the point this time as they get the 1 to go signal. I think as they cross the line, Dustin, we're going to have our top 10, and we're going to do our Nerd TV top 10 recap, which I have not personally done in quite a few weeks. So here you go. Vicente Guerrero from 3rd to 1st so far. Been floating up at the top 10 all race long. The next guy nods. He just gets to the front for the first time and then is a part of the big one right after that with the 09 crossing over his nose. So 15th to 2nd. Sean McCara, he started in 20th, but he has been up in the top 5, top 10 all night long. He quickly moved up there and has not left since. 20th to 3rd. And then Jeff Crosby Jr., your starting P1 position person. He's going to be in 4th place on this restart. Hasn't been talked about too much. Just been kind of floating maybe in the top 10 area. Not too many times he's poked his nose in for the lead, but here he is here with 2/3 of the race down and 1/3 to go. You got Zach Fritsch, 6th to 5th. Yeah, been about top 10. Not really a storyteller tonight, but very conservative.
Already
Good night
locked
for
in.
12. Yeah, he's already locked in. Why not? Don't be about it. Just let him hash it out. Gary Bergeron, this man has been trying the outside, been a strong pusher, strong leader on that 3rd groove. His night's not done. He's going to use his fast repair super early, but he's up from 21st to 7th. Mark Mann in the 0-4, up 25th to 8th. Remember, he just came down pit road right before that huge wreck. He was going to be like 25th or 26th. Nope. Now he's inside the top 10 just because of, well, the best call of probably all of 2025. And then we have Adam Kilday from 2nd to 9th. And Harold Rothery is your 10th place driver, up 9 positions himself.
You forgot
Was a part of that
one
wreck.
driver.
I
Les
called-
Levy.
Did I skip Les Levy?
You did.
That's twice I've flunked on this guy. Well, I apologize to you, Mr. 62. Go get her done. Yeah, how about you get a top 3 and I'll apologize to you in the podium.
It's
start
it's hard when they're jumping around all over the place, Jeremy.
No, no, that's me. That's just, I appreciate you trying in my favor, but no, that's just my fault.
As we are back to green flag, 14 Vicente Guerrero out to a good lead right now. You got the 16 of Nate Warren giving him the push. 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. trying to get that second lane working right now. Sean McCara, third car in line on the inside. You got Crosby Jr. You got Les Levy. And then you got Mark Mann, your 3 drivers on that top side. And now they're neck and neck. Now momentum switching, going to that top side.
Good strong run here on the outside. 14 did lead the lap, of course, but now he's going to drop all the way back to 5th, maybe even 6th, as Jeff Crosby Jr. trying to regain this lead for the 26th lead change of the night. Him and second place driver, the number 62, the guy I'd like to forget about, Les Levy. Going to be 3 cars now, 4 single file as the 4 Mark Mann and the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. All hang tight on the inside. Does one want to jump to the outside? Currently not. As surprisingly, Dustin going to take the safe approach this lap.
Yeah, Les Levy doing everything he can to make sure you don't forget him again, Jeremy. As he's up there now giving good pushes to your race leader, Jeff Crosby Jr. That second lane still trying to build momentum. Harold Rothery getting big pushes from the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Now Gary Bergeron looked to the outside, had no takers with him, thought better of it, pulled back down to the inside. Now the 17, Jimmy Reynolds, goes to the outside here. Don't know if that was to just get out of there, overheat temperature, and that's what it looks like, as everybody is going to freight train him on the bottom 2 lines.
As a still majority of the front half of the field it's finally closing in as the 18. Harold Rothery is making some moves finally. Oh, the 33 gets pushed to the outside, 3 wide, splitting the 33 as the 12 gets shifted to the bottom half of the yellow line there. Surprisingly gets back up in time. 18 is going to go from 6th place to P1 at the moment. Can he be our newest leader of tonight's race and be the 16th driver to do so? And it looks like yes is that answer. Welcome to the lead, Mr. Harold.
Yeah, as the 24 goes low there, not good enough. Harold Rothery will lead that lap there to mark another new leader. 24 Everett Lane back up to the point on the inside. He's got the 62 of Les Levy, the 04 of Mark Mann behind him. Rothery still on that high side, now has the 999 or the 1 or the 111, whatever one you want to call. Gary Bergeron behind him, and the 43 Dana Shepard are your 3 in that midline.
As they're still progressing through the corner here, the outside's got a strong run here, 2 by 2 by 2. I think this is a great time to turn up the tunes. Listen to these cars go around Talladega at high horsepower, high RPM. We'll be right back. turn up the twos as we go back to full screen here. 18 off 17 and a half laps to go. Everett Lane currently sitting as your race leader. Second place, Les Levy. Third place now, Gary Bergeron. Well, now he's in fourth. Gabe Butler takes over fourth place just quick momentarily. As the 84 here, your stage winner, Len McNeese is going to be pushing them back into third, maybe back into second, and even possibly to the race lead. What a shove here on the front stretch.
Yeah, it's that tandem momentum drafting, and oh man, wow. What a cut at the same time getting pushed. Man, that car had a wonky angle going down. Bergeron held on to it but lost a lot of momentum. Now, Jimmy Hopp pushing the 12 of Zach Fritsch up to the 84. They're going to double clear Gary Bergeron, put themselves up there. Fritsch doesn't stay on that low line long. He jumps to the high side, maintains momentum. Bergeron jumps up with him.
Great strong move there by the 12 and the 1. 12 clears, goes to the bottom. The 1 needs Jimmy Hopp to get to his back bumper. For momentum, Everett Lane gives a great shot to the 84, Len McNeese. Keeps him at bay momentarily, but as they get to the 12, Gary all of a sudden gets the great run with the 09 all over the back bumper. That move 1 lap ago was such a close move. I don't know if it was worth it for the 1, but here he comes. It's going to work momentarily as he gets door to door with the 12. And he's going to have a great chance of clearing him. Looks like he does. But he likes to stay to the outside until turn 3. To the bottom, 09 has clearance.
Yep, now the 09 of Jimmy Hopp up there waiting to get push help from the 04 Mark Mann. Vicente Guerrero and Steven Luttrell up in that high side right now. Only 4 cars up there right now. Every other car, Jeremy, is lined up on the bottom. That can mean one thing and one thing only. Pit stops.
I don't know what you mean, sir. What do you mean single file on the bottom means pit stops? They would not. And actually, you know what, speaking of which, they're going to be 14 to go, which is right at the tail end of that field window. As you saw them stretch 15 laps, but they had to really stretch it out to make it thin. But they don't have to drive around the track, Dustin, once they get to the checker flag. So this time the window is open. And yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of these cars this time or next time.
Oh, yeah. And again, that short pit, when they hit that point of safe return where they know that they have enough to make it to the end, I would expect that window is going to open up next time by, Jeremy. I would expect to see a decent group coming down to top off. And if it stays green, they'll have enough to make it to the end from that point forward. Now, if we have any green-white checkers, that's going to shake, rattle, and roll that strategy right out the window.
They're all hoping not to see it, but you also got to expect it. So we'll see here. Oh, here we go. I see a lot of chat so far. Mark Mann's coming down. Douglas Johnson coming down. Everett Lane, Len McNeese. All 4 of those drivers I just mentioned are coming down pit road. Who
Mark
else
Mann's not coming down. He's on the high side. He
He's
can't
on the
come.
outside. It's true. Here we go. 6 drivers, 7, 8. They're filing in here more and more. 10 plus on pit road.
Yep, that window opened up. Here is your first takers right now coming down pit road. A lot of playoff drivers I see coming down pit road, Jeremy. Everett Lane, Adam Kilday, Anthony English, Rick Sanchez, Jimmy Reynolds, Gary Bergeron, Len McNeese, all coming down pit road this time to the service of their crew. That will be all that they need. The rest of the field's still out, but they're lined up on the bottom, Jeremy. I expect pit road to be hopping this time by as well.
Pit road's going to be Jimmy hopping, he said. As we're going to come to 12 laps to go. And here comes the majority, actually all of them, in this main pack. Let's see if they can do it just as cleanly as pack number 1. Yes, is to answer that question. Everybody clean, 2x2 for the most part. 1 little set of 3 wide, but very good. 2 big packs in and no issues.
Yeah, and that is a make or break situation. The last pit stop, the last thing that you want is any pit road penalties at this point in time. And Jeremy, both packs were able to come down to the service of their virtual crews, get gassed up, and do it clean. As this pack here still trying to get organized, a little bit of a bump, offset the 24 of Everett Lane. And right now, the rest of your field is looking to be coming out. So question is, how big is that delta going to be right now? Zach Fritsch leading this pack out. They are on the apron, working their way around the best apron for pit road exit out of all the restrictor plate tracks, because you can full throttle that bad boy all the way around once you clear that line. And there you see Everett Lane leading that second pack right now, and they're now just starting to blend, and this is where chaos can ensue, Jeremy, because now you got two different packs blending at the same time.
I thought Len was going to be, I thought he was going to turn the 24 of Everett Lane, but somehow did not. But Mark giving a great shove to the 12 to get him up to speed, but here we go, 2, 3, 4 wide now, squeezing on the bottom half of the track somehow. Does not wreck one another. 12 of Zach Fritsch came in as the race leader, still holds on to the race lead even after the cycle through. Usually we see the first group of cars take the race lead, but thanks to the 0-4 and the 12's hookup, not happening this time around. This is a very tight 3 wide as we got 11 to go.
Yeah, and Steve hopping in the chats, nice work from all drivers. I couldn't say it better myself. Probably one of the hardest things to do, and especially in big packs, coming in 3 wide, full speed, woeing it down to pit road speed. Not an easy thing, but these drivers made it look easy. 3 wide right now, Gabe Butler leading that third lane with the 999 of Gary Bergeron, trying to get clear of the 71 of McCara. He is clear, can move down at any time right now. Elects to stay in that third lane. Now, the blinders are on. Easy. There it was. Oh,
they saved it.
They saved it.
Hold on.
No. There it is. Ah,
caution.
Those blinders, man, and we seen it. I didn't want to call it out, but Jeremy, we have all been there, man. That tunnel vision, it's a real thing when you are doing nothing but pushing a car in front of you and they clear and go low. It's it's tough.
Yeah, it was the number one. Just if we can get a little quick rewind, possibly, because that was a great camera angle to see exactly what happened here. So the one comes down, but the 71 doesn't really give much room. And in fact, I don't know if he turns up. Look, they're already tagging each other here. 71
might have drifted up a little bit. I don't know if that was due to the contact, if it pulled the car, but
aerodynamic thing where it got sucked, because they've talked about the two cars when they get really close, they just suction up right next to one another. That could have been just an aerodynamic thing.
Yeah, an excellent job by Kilday down low to sit here and save it, but it was the remerge back up from the one that checked up the 71. Oh, Rick Sanchez gets involved. Rothery, Len McNeese gets involved. Man. But we got to back it up, though. I mean, because this was almost saved, Jeremy. It was almost saved. If that merge up there from Bergeron wouldn't have taken place, it was almost completely saved. And I tell you what, I mean, Kilday did a fantastic job on this here. Once contact was made right, he's there, contact made, he's sliding. I mean, he is sideways and slideways, saves it, and continues on. But there you see that merge up from the 999 of Bergeron, and then it's that accordion effect. It stacked everybody up because he lost so much momentum.
Yeah, we had the call of the race earlier. Now we have the save of the race with Kilday. 45-degree slide, able to save it. Doesn't touch the grass. Uses all the asphalt on the bottom part of the track to get it cleared there. As these guys are once more. Some are coming down for repairs. A lot of them are going to stay out because they're good on fuel. And look at this. Virtues of some pit stops. We get the 71 of McCara finally to the race lead. Your 34th lead change amongst now 17 drivers. Welcome to the lead, Sean McCara, for the next couple of laps.
Absolutely. So, Checkered Flag Motorsports in the YouTube chat says, fun fact. And we love our fun facts over here because why? Because we're freaking nerds, man. We love facts. Len McNeese won the championship in the first season of the Wednesday night racing. So, Len McNeese knows how to get it done. He's a Wednesday night series champion for this ButtKicker Grand National Series. So he's up with the likes of many other drivers, one of which is right there on your screen behind the 71, Jeff Crosby Jr., who right now is a two-time champion going for his three-peat this season. And Jeremy's looking pretty decent at trying to lock himself into the round of 8.
Yeah, decent chance. Absolutely. As this caution is going to bring these guys to about 6 laps to go, maybe 7. I think they're going to go 1 to go this time, so they'll be restarting on lap 65, which will be 6 laps to go. A lot of things can happen within the front. Who's going to make the quick moves from 10th on back to get to the front? That'll be fun to see. We've seen the 3 wide happen before. It can happen again. The inside lane's been a little bit stronger than I expected, though, Dustin.
It has. I'm just going back through some of the YouTube chat while we're under caution right now. So, Workman says Kilday was driving that thing. That is probably the understatement of the night, man. 45-degree angle, full speed in these things. Transitioning from track to apron and saving it was fantastic. Nespai, this was during green flag pit stops. Obviously talking about the 5 of Rick Sanchez, says good pits, no whammies. So I love it.
Good pits, no whammies. They all merged to one another, and then the whammy happened. They caused the 5th caution of the night once for stage 4 for Rex on the field. As we're going to go 1 to go this time. Let's pull up the graphic one more time, Dustin, because we're really close to finish of the point situation before this race started. There you go. So we're going to kind of compare that to who's in the top 10 right now. The top 7 are all playoff drivers. The ones outside looking in.
Mark Mann is in 7th right now. Anthony English is on the outside looking in. Gabe Butler is on the outside looking in, but he is slotted further back in 24th right now. Everett Lane is on the outside looking in, and he is 21st. So they've got a lot to work. You got Lowry and Shepard. Eric Lowry.
Sorry, Shepard's the big winner.
Huh?
I said Shepard's the big winner so far. He's outside the cut by 12 points.
And he's in the top 5. Yes. Eric Lowry back in 27th. Not good there. Len McNeese, stage winner, but was involved in that one back in 20th. Has some work to do there. And then Gary Bergeron, who is 16th on the standings back in 24. So, Jeremy, some of these drivers not in good spots with just a few handful of laps left. Other drivers, they're putting themselves in good positions right now, like Mark Mann, Anthony English. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and then also Nate Warren, Rick Sanchez. They're +7, +1. They're also back there deep in the field, just above the top 20. So that graphic could be halfway scrambled after this race is over.
Could be? Oh, it's going to be.
There you go. Dustin's calling it. They're going to stay put in the back. It's going to get all mixed up here as green flag is back out. 6 laps to go. The 71 surprisingly jumps early to the outside. He sees the speed with the 44 of English, who's not been up in the top 3 all night long. Here he is finally with 6 to go. But here comes 85 to the bottom. Does the 44 or the 71 jump down with him?
Yeah, right now momentum is on that top side, but you see the 71, 44, they're flirting in between the lanes right there, looking like they're trying to get the 33 clear, but the 36 of Stephen Luttrell right now giving big pushes to Kilday. Oh, 215. That's Derek Donna into the wall hard, and oh no, and we got an accident ensuing behind. That's going to be Doug Johnson spinning to the inside. Dave Hunt involved in that one there. Looked like Crosby Sr. A lot of cars shifting and moving out of the way right now.
It never fails when you see one driver save it, something doesn't happen to him, and then the guys react to it by watching the mirror, and chaos ensues behind.
We caught that there. That was Derek Donna. We're going to sit here and watch and see what happened. Oh, looked like just a little bobble from the 62 up and a lot of space in between there, a lot of code in between those two cars is going to send the 215 up. He bounces off the wall, but that's not where the trouble ensued. He was up in the wall clear. This happened down here with the 388 of Doug Johnson, and that just looked like contact from the 09 at Jimmy Hop. That sends him down. Oh, man, Jeff Crosby Sr. got blindsided. Probably one of the worst hits even in sim racing with the force feedback on these direct drive wheels. Man, you feel everything. You see Dave Hunt gets involved in that one as well, as he had nowhere to go. Man.
Yeah, the 15 just obliterates the wall there in that Tide car. He just 90 degrees perpendicular to the inside wall, smashes it head on. And yeah, that's the second caution now. The 9's found himself trouble in the draft.
Watch this.
Right on
Doesn't
board
even
with
see it
15.
coming.
Oh! Blindsided it. That camera doesn't do it justice. That's such a heavy hit. That car is toast. I don't know if he has a fast spray either. I really don't think Crosby Sr. has one. Let me take a look on his pit road. Yeah, he's still sitting there damaged. He's doing his toe. So he's going to be a minimum at least one lap down. But his night might be done after that contact.
Yeah, heavy contact. And like I said, he was just running his race on the inside and got blindsided. You talk to any real racer or anything like that, that's probably some of the worst hits like that are the ones you do not see coming. Because there's no way to try to prep. And especially when they're as violent as what that is. And it's the same in the sim racing. And those hits head on the inside wall. These direct drive wheels, man, I tell you what, I have torn and I mean just obliterated arms and everything else with hits like that just coming out of nowhere.
Our caffeine team member, esports driver for Nerditudes, Steve Rada told me to watch back his replay as Douglas Johnson merges back up the track. Let's see if we can get Dustin a quick work of the cameras to find Douglas Johnson and Steve Rada right when they made almost made contact in front of the pit road. A little magic to work here. Here's the incident. Thank you, SDK, for that. Here's Steve. Let's go full speed on this thing. The reaction time to seeing, oh, I'm cleared, I am not.
Whoa!
A little quick maneuver. Steve thought he was cleared and then had to make a quick jolt to the inside.
Oh my goodness. The reaction time of even sim drivers, man, never ceases to amaze me. It's a split-second reaction, hand-eye coordination. Remember all those years growing up, for me, playing the NES, and they said that playing video games was just rotting your mind. Nah, it was helping hand-eye coordination, reaction time. It's exactly what it was doing.
Helps us all out, doesn't it, here in the sim world? In the blink of an eye, things happen at super speedways, and you just have to react off natural instinct. And that's what these guys are doing. And speaking of what they're doing, they're going to be restarting Dustin with 2 to go. It's going to be a natural green-white checkered. It will not be a overtime attempt. So this will be kind of fun here. Sean McKerrow still leading this thing. He's getting a good stretch of laps, led over 10 consecutive laps between the cautions for the 71. Can he now get a good restart, block his way, and keep the race lead? He's got it. He's not lost it. He's got a lot of hungry drivers right behind him. The 44, Anthony English, still looking for his first lap lead tonight. Stephen Luttrell in the 36, who said it's going to be all misery tonight. It's kind of weird that misery falls in 6th place. But, yeah, this is gonna be a pretty crazy restart.
I'll take that misery any day.
Absolutely.
Honestly. Chats are still going. We love you guys chatting. Workman says, poor Dave Hunt and Crosby Sr. innocent bystanders. They absolutely were. William Luttrell says, 3-digit numbers are just not right. Talking about the 388, Doug Johnson. And then Workman says, when we were talking about the force feedback, says, especially at 08 with the force coming through the steering wheel, yeah, you feel every hump, bump, and wrinkle that track has to offer. And then Belva Feltz says, bunch of bumper cars and Dodge cars going on. Yeah, and some bumper cars missing their bumpers after some of the events that we've seen take place over the last 20 laps or so.
Yeah, joke included here. Triple digits does seem odd, doesn't it?
I don't have the soundboard, man. That's usually you. Triple digit. There it is. There it was. All right. Like you said, natural green-white checkered. This is not going to count towards the 2 green-white checkered attempts. Right now, Sean McCara leads over Anthony English on that inside. Your pushers are Kilday on the outside. 33 of Crosby Jr. on the inside. And your third in line, Mark Mann on the inside, Stephen Luttrell on the outside, because that third car pushing is vitally important. Green flag flies. We're back underway, Jeremy.
2 laps to go. Great restart by the 71, but this is not going to be good for him as he gets to turn 2. Actually, turn 1, Kilday. Man, what a launch. He's just going to take the inside, going to claim it his, going to clear the 71. Now can the outside get back going? Actually does not clear because the draft on the outside suctions up quick. And Sean McCara, the 33 across, and Luttrell, wreck. 85 Kilday, cautions out once more. As we're going back, they continue to wreck, Dustin. This is not the only crash. Way more cars involved after that. And like I said, the last caution too, after the first initial caution, people just seem to not control themselves, and it causes more wrecks. And we'll have to take a replay at a couple angles here.
Yeah, and this all started from that difference in draft, that delta. You're going to see big slam draft. You want to know what a slam draft was? That's a slam draft. Speed delta difference. You've seen the front nose of Anthony English dive down. You've seen the rear end of Kilday bump up, and that's what happened. It literally lifted Kilday's rear end up. He lost traction from the rear tires there, and off to the races he goes. Heavy impact to the inside wall, but that's not where it even it continued on, Jeremy.
Yeah, there was a little 4-wide moment. The 14 at English. They're not English. Vicente Guerrero. He shoves it 4 wide. He had a great run, yes, but he tries the 4-wide gap at the same time. Mark Mann closes the window.
Anthony English is going to get a piece too.
Way too tight. English gets a huge hit, just like the 15 on the last caution. 24 of Lane. He's going to lock it down with a little contact, but he's going to be okay. No harm, no foul to the 24 mainly. But yeah, the 44, definitely the worst of the bunch here of this one.
Yeah, and that's not what he needed. That's not what Kilday needed. Anthony English, again, one of those drivers sitting just outside that bubble right now, sitting back there in 11th. 8 points out, needed to have a solid finish. Workman in the chat says desperation setting in. Yes. Steve Hoppett says cautions breed cautions. That is so true in the racing world, whether it's real or virtual. Cautions breed cautions, but I 110% agree with Workman. Desperation moves, trying to get everything. This is the last race before we go from 16 drivers in the playoffs down to 8. And that is not how we wanted that to work out, and that's not how some of the drivers wanted it to happen. But, Jeremy, that shakes things up. It's going to be a little different on this restart. This will be one of your official green-white checkered attempts, so this will be one in the books with one remaining.
We're going to take a late race picture-in-picture here as we got a lap and a half left. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
Let's see it. 2 laps to go, potentially the final restart of this race. Sean McCara, Jeff Crosby Jr., front row. Second row, Stephen Luttrell, Zach Fritsch, and you have Dana Shepard and Les Levy. Filing in as your top 6. Green flag is out. The 71. Sean McCara going to open up again with a decent start. But can this maintain? He's been lucky the past 2 cautions to get the slingshot back to the race lead, back to the front, and then the cautions kept him at bay. But now, potentially, this could be the final restart here. The 33 gets a great push from Stephen Luttrell as Zach Fritsch gets to the back bumper of the 71. Now here comes the 62, Les Levy, 3 wide caution in the back, multiple cars. We're going to restack them up for the final time. Cautions breeding cautions. Yet again, here is we're going to have to take a look. I think I saw Gary Bergeron and a couple others. As Dustin, they get to the bottom of turn 3, the dust settles. Quite a few cars involved in this one.
Yeah, quite a few. We're going to try to see exactly where this started at because it was in the back. I know I seen the 14 of Vicente Guerrero go around as well.
No. It's Jimmy Hop again. With the 3rd wreck he's going to cause tonight, he's going to go from downtown to uptown and collect Eric Lowry.
Oh.
And he's going to bring back down to the 14, who he was just drafting. He was just drafting him, and then he was like, you know what, Eric? I want you to follow into the 14. I'm going to bring you downtown. You see him? He went like 2 lanes right there, right?
Yeah, goes up. At the same time, the 71 was making a move down, makes contact. The 14 of Vicente Guerrero is going to go around. Oh, man. Oh, 88 of Gabe Butler misses it. Nate Warren misses it. Everyone else misses it. But, oh, big impact. Yep. Crosby Sr. Right
Crosby
into...
for that one.
Oh, yeah. Right into the back of Vicente Guerrero.
He drove down into that one. He said, Stephen Luttrell's memo, pit man of my misery. He's in the back of the pack, turns down. But
Anthony English.
Johnson. Yeah, Anthony English. Douglas Johnson with a quick maneuver to the inside. He barely misses it. So we're going to go near TV Rewind and take a look here. Decent amount of playoff drivers in this one.
Oh, Anthony English, he was good. And then, Doug Johnson just clobbered Eric Lowry right in front of Anthony English. Anthony English gets a piece of that. He goes down to the inside. He's got right front damage there. And then, oh, man, gets clobbered by Gary Bergeron, who was spinning from contact up on the track. Man, playoff driver, just playoff driver on playoff driver violence.
And all these guys were involved in one of the bigger ones early on. So this will be fun to see who has a fasty left, who doesn't. As this will be the final restart when we go back to green flag in 2 laps. It will be the final restart. No ifs, ands, or buts. They get 2 of 2 attempts. And that'll settle the dust. So 4 laps remaining in total. Sean McCara still leading this thing, who's been the leader since, I think, lap 60 or 61. So 15 laps led consecutively by the 71. And, yeah, we have, Dustin, a total. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 7 playoff drivers in 20th place or worse, with a couple more playoff drivers just above that, 1 in 19th, 1 in 17th. So literally, this is going to shake a lot of things up.
Yeah. I mean, a number of those drivers that are back there right now, I mean, they were trying to find their way in. Gabe Butler back there in 20th. I mean, he was sitting in 10th in points right there. Kilday should be good. Kilday is back there in 19th, but he's running second in points right now. Would be running first, but by virtue of the winning in, Zach Fritsch is at the top of the charts. Kilday should be okay regardless. This is almost like a throwaway to a degree for Kilday. Crosby Jr. running good right now. Vicente Guerrero is involved in that. He's back in 21st, but he's got a little play there with the points and where he's sitting at. Jimmy Reynolds is next in line, and the 17 is slotted in 23rd. McCara leading. Rick Sanchez and the 5 is running top 10. Mark Mann is running top 10. So, like you said, Jeremy, this is going to shake a lot of things up because this is a race that's not working out to the expectation of some of these playoff drivers, at least what their hopes would have been.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. We are on caution number 8 of the night here. And I was going to shout out the fact that we only had one car, Dustin, one car that was 1 lap down. Before that wreck happened, one car. That usually you see 5 or 6 that are out, or at least a couple of them that are 5 or 6 laps down, which right now we have 3, 2 which are 2 laps down and 1 or 5 laps down. But before that, a wreck there. Only one car 1 lap down. That's usually a stat you rarely see in any league race. So just a quick shout out to the league in general for that.
Absolutely. So the question is, last restart, next flag ends the race. Is it going to be a caution flag or is it going to be the checkered flag? That's going to be the question. And the next question is, the 71 has been on these restarts. Does he have one more in the tank to keep him up there? Or Jeremy, do you think one of these other drivers back behind him are hungry? In the position the 71 of Sean McCara is in is a tough situation because, I mean, you've got your target, and it's your entire rear end. That is it. Everybody's now gunning for that spot.
Was it the joke that the fact that his car is red and white like a target board?
Maybe.
It could be. Just, we'll find out. He's been putting himself in the best possible spot. I thought his jumps on the restart have been a little too early, but the way he's catching these wrecks and these cautions, it's playing out very nicely. But now he can't hide. He literally cannot, because this will be the final restart tonight.
I feel the winner
gonna do
could be coming from the second or third row.
All right, so Dustin's calling out Zach Fritsch, Len McNeese, Les Levy, my favorite combination of forgotten drivers, and you got Stephen Luttrell and Dana Shepard, one of those 4. Here we go. In the restart zone for the final time. Green flag is out. The 71 does not get the start that he wanted because the 33 matched it perfectly. But 12, Zach Fritsch, going to go forward with Ford on the top, leaving the Chevrolet by himself momentarily. This is going to allow the 71 of Sean McCara to get to the front by himself. This should clear the 12 of Zach Fritsch. Here comes the 62 of Les Levy, who tried this last restart. He's going to give it another shot, and look at him, almost by himself to second, almost to first. Here comes the rest of the field. They're going to get to turn 3, going to leave the inside open, oddly enough. Jeff Crosby Jr. is going to take that slot with Stephen Luttrell. Now they go 3 wide for the first 2 rows. Cleared for the 33. Does he move to the top? No, momentarily. He's going to keep the 36. Stephen Luttrell double cleared. Do they stay there so far? The answer is yes. Contact 548. They stay as we get the white flag. 1 to go. Presented by absolutely nobody.
White flag, 1 to go. We are 4 wide back there in the pack. This is never going to work. Fritsch is sideways. He gets into Junior. Junior into Sanchez. Now Schroeder back up. They save it somehow, but the race is up front. Stephen Luttrell, Sean McCara, they've got a decent lead right now. Can they hold on? Going down, more wrecking back behind. That's going to leave 3 different packs of tandem drivers. Do they have enough time to catch the 36 and 71? Stephen Luttrell leading this, coming around, but here comes big runs from Dana Shepard, Crosby Jr. They go to the outside. Shepard goes to the inside, splits them down to the line now, 3 wide. Dana Shepard on the inside. Can he win it? Dana Shepard will win the Chevy Land at Dega.
No way. I did not see Shepard
Called it.
doing that move.
Called it, baby.
From 5th place, Dustin calls it perfectly. Shepard crosses the line. P1 with a fantastic move. Everyone went to the top to block. And the 43 said, okay, I'm going to take the shortest way around and just do it myself.
What a move. Had the momentum, maintained the momentum, punched his ticket into the round of 8. Belva-Felts, you have it right. You just never know when it comes to this. These runs, and especially in these cars, come out of nowhere. What a fantastic run to make that. Wow. Luttrell was in a perfect position right there. He was maintaining over McCara, but that run that Crosby Jr. with the push from Dana Shepard, and Dana Shepard with the last-minute decision to go from high side to cut it low, push it 3 wide and maintain the momentum, punches his ticket in to the round of 8.
36 lead changes, 18 leaders, and 8 cautions. Settles this final race in round 1 completely. There's complete massacre in the back. Gonna be way too many replays to go over, so we're just gonna watch the 43, who was all but out. Dustin, he was all but out. He had to win this race, and he did it on the last lap. 1 of 2 laps led for the 43 tonight. Brings it home P1. We'll talk to him here momentarily, but here's your unofficial results tonight for race number 16 of the regular season, race 3 and final of round 1. Janice Shepard, Jeff Crosby Jr., and Sean McCara is your top 3. Stephen Luttrell and Andrew Schroeder finish the top 5. 6 through 10 is Harold Rothery, Christopher Jordan, Mark Mann, Anthony English, and Everett Lane. 11 through 20 is Adam Kilday, Gabe Butler, Rick Seabrands, Gary Bergeron, Jimmy Reynolds, Zach Fritsch, Dave Hunt, Nathan Warren, and Les Levy. And then 21st on back is Eric Lowry, Dwayne Corbett, Rick Sanchez, Steve Rada, Derek Donna, Jimmy Hop, Douglas Johnson, Jeff Crosby Sr., and Len McNeese. The last car for the 29 fielded entry list tonight. And this is my time to do the quick work, getting the top 3 sorted out in Discord so we can have our post-race interviews.
Yeah, what a wild ride as you get that done, Jeremy. It championship playoff standings definitely gonna be shaken. Some drivers not gonna make it. Excellent rebounds for the likes of Anthony English. You got a top 10 out of that, which he definitely needed. Gabe Butler got a 12th place. Definitely needed a good finish there as well. But drivers that definitely needed a good finish that just did not get what they needed out of that is it's tough. It's tough. Gary Bergeron got a 14th, but even with the 14th, Jeremy, don't think that that's enough to even remotely get it done. So it's definitely going to have to wait until next week to see exactly who makes the playoffs in that round of 8 when we go to our Xfinity round 2 with the Xfinity cars before we bring you coverage of the championship race and none other than the trucks.
100% here, and they got this Discord all all weird, like, because there's two sets of broadcast channels, so I got to pull them from a far channel, which I moved into. That's fine. There's two podium winners in this whole Discord. It's kind of odd. Maybe we'll get that fixed for next week, but okay. We got our third place finisher on deck. It's going to be Sean McCara, driver of the number 71, who led basically, the last 20 laps of the race up until 2 laps to go. Sean, welcome to P3. Congrats, dude.
Yeah, thanks. Good to get a strong finish there.
Yeah, definitely locks you into the top 8 for next week. So congrats on that. It took you a while to get to the front, and then you just kind of held on, man. What was your strategy coming into tonight?
Just trying to have a good race. I really wanted to get stage points. The caution we had early on was definitely poorly timed, made for a rough fuel strategy. Didn't execute that very well. Just didn't get any stage points, and then just tried to work the way up front, and eventually did. Was up there with a couple teammates, so was able to work that, and was really just trying to hang on and was hoping for either a win or a strong finish that'd be good enough to, without a doubt, lock in, and got that. So happy with that.
Yeah, 100% there, dude. Kept a clean race car for the most part. Very, very good job on your part. Going to the round of 8, do you change your mindset at all, or do you just kind of do what you've been doing for the next couple weeks?
I mean, I struggled a lot this season, except for the win that locked me in, and then the last 3 races have been good. So I guess kind of just keep doing what I'm doing, because whatever it is working out all right, and getting decent finishes these playoffs. I think this is my second interview with you since it started. So yeah, just try to keep it going. Just aim for finishes pointing straight. That tends to work out.
All right, man. Well, best luck to you. The Gen 4 car, you can throw that away. Now it's time for Xfinity for the next 2 races. So we'll catch you next Wednesday, and maybe we'll talk to you then too for the 3rd time.
Yeah, that's the goal. Always means it was a good night.
Absolutely, man. Well, good luck to you, and we'll see you then.
All right, sounds great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And back to his channel he goes. Now we're going to bring in a second place finisher, the man who finished his second, also second place in points. Definitely moving on to the round of 8, no questions asked. Jeff Crosby Jr., what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, very good race overall. Decent amount of cautions, but nonetheless, the racing was very eventful with these Gen 4 at Talladega. How'd you think the race went with this car and track combination? I thought it was a lot of fun up here.
Yeah, I definitely didn't like how we finished there. It kind of sucks that we had multiple green white checkers. Really wish we could have done it the first time, but it happens. Yeah, good combination, especially if you start on the outside. You're definitely going to be just power driving through everybody. You're going to get a big run. And that's what the plan was on the final 2 restarts, try to get to the outside and just stay there. And it was fun. Got in the back a little bit, but then after the stage was able to get back up front and save fuel, and yeah, P2. It's crazy.
Yeah, P2 indeed, man. Xfinity car. How you feeling about the semifinals, if you will, with Xfinity?
Pretty confident, man. We got a Daytona 08 next week in the Xfinity car, and I usually do pretty decent, knock on wood. So hopefully we can keep this streak of top 10s going. That's 3 straight top 10s on Wednesday. So like I keep telling you guys, just try to get back to the Final 4 for the 3rd straight season.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job at that to start. 2 more races to get there. I think you got all the tools necessary, man. So good luck to you the next 2 weeks. Any shout outs you want to give out tonight?
Yeah, definitely want to give a shout out to you guys in the booth there and Nerd Toots. Looks like Steve's up there too. I'm not sure if he broadcast it, but he's in the channel. But you and Dustin, appreciate you guys. You want to give a shout out to my teammates, Fritch, Senior, McCara, and Nate. I'm not really sure if Nate's going to make the cutoff there, but we were definitely trying and pulling for him. But thankfully we'll get hopefully 3 guys in there. Give a shout out to my wife And as always, we will see you next week, hopefully in the booth again.
All right, man. We're looking forward to it. Good luck next week. And yeah, maybe you'll be one of the 3 we talk to.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. All right, well, Jeff Crosby Jr. now the time to load the victory lane scene is we're going to bring in the man who is going to go from out of the playoffs to in on the last lap from 5th place to 1st on the restart. Dana Shepard, congrats, dude.
Hey, thank you, man. That was really a nail biter there at the end. I knew I had to go for the win, but I wasn't going to wreck those guys to get it.
How excited were you crossing that line? You cleared all the mess, of course, that happened behind you. Then excellent pass at the very end to take the short route on the bottom. I could just imagine you were jumping in your seat, dude.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't figure out which button to hit on my steering wheel to tell my guys I won because I actually was 5th, and it didn't catch up as I crossed the line. I didn't know that I'd won for about 5 or 6 seconds, so I wasn't sure what to do.
I don't think there's a right answer. You just do what you feel, whatever your body tells you to do, man.
It's true.
Yeah. It's your first win this season. Your 3rd top 5. So you're not really in this position, at least for this season on Wednesdays. So I know it's going from Gen 4 to Xfinity. Did you find any new partners out there or something to kind of maybe help you get to the round of 4 possibly?
I didn't really find a particular person. I was just sort of going with which line felt like it was moving the best and then hoping I had a window to get up there. The top's definitely an advantage in these cars. So every time I started on the bottom, I kept thinking, how am I going to get off this bottom line? And it just, luck is a lot of it.
SuperSpeedway, man. Luck is definitely a lot of it. But there's a lot of skill in this league, too, knowing how to pick your lanes and all that good stuff. But you capitalized on it late, man. Congratulations. One of 18 different leaders tonight. Crazy amount of lead changes, and you got it done. So we'll see you for the round of 8. You're definitely locked in now. Any shout-outs?
Yeah, just got to thank you guys, Nerditudes. Got to thank OP for this great league. I mean, I've been here for a few seasons, and this is my first ever win in OP, so this was even better to make the next
really?
round. And I got to thank, DEP, the painter. He does these kind of crazy paints that he does that are fun to use. And I got to thank my nephew, Derek, who races in the league with me, and Chris Jordan. These guys really work well on the radios with me. And, I've been trying to teach stuff and all the other leagues that I do, but got to thank the family. I got some family that's actually in Italy, so I'm sure they're going to wake up to watch this replay. But I want to thank everybody. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Actually, yeah, you brought up your scheme. Dustin loves your taco
I love it.
smoke.
I love it. Absolutely, man. And it caught us off guard because I thought it was a Taco Bell because I loved Taco Bell back when, Junior ran it and everything else. And then when the camera hit it, I'm like, wait, no, that's taco smell. I love it, man. I love the fun paint schemes.
Yeah, Daniel is really good with these. He just comes up with these ideas. I think I've got a paint somewhere over like a Hitachi tool he had in his shop one day. Just made a paint up. And I went to sleep one night, didn't expect the paint to come in. And I wake up and I did the same thing. I'm like, that says Taco Bell. Oh, cool. My wife likes, tacos. He said, no, read that again. And I had to wake up. And I'm like, oh, there you go.
I don't feel so bad then. It wasn't just me that it got. All right. I don't feel so bad.
No, definitely not. And that's the best part is people watching these broadcasts, you got to really watch the paints. I know they look cool, but sometimes you'll find little Easter eggs in them or little things that'll catch you off guard. And he loves doing that stuff on his paints.
He must have had too many burritos that night with too many beans or something. That motivation.
I mean, I don't know if you noticed Derek's new paint tonight, but yeah.
Oh, we
the,
did.
smiley face.
We did. Absolutely.
Again, Daniel comes up with these things, and we give him little tidbits of stuff sometimes, but most of the time, he's just there making these things, and when he pops them on there, it's like, that is just amazing. As a driver, I don't pay for my paints, which is great for him, but we want to sell his paints. So if you want any paints done, definitely go see Daniel at DEP. He'll come up with some crazy stuff.
Well, there you go, man. You're into the round of 8. Good luck to you the next 2 weeks with the Xfinity car, and maybe you'll get your 4th top 5. And maybe we'll talk to you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Of course, now we're going to Xfinity. I'm a little more comfortable with Saturday nights doing that. So this car I was not comfortable in, and I'm looking forward to the next round.
And we'll go get them, man. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys. You all have a good night.
You too.
man.
The man that says that he was not comfortable in it wins the race.
Does it surprise you at this point? There's
No.
no practice. The guys who win also don't feel comfortable. I guess we just don't have the right strategy, Dustin. We just, throw away the playbook, just join in late, don't feel comfortable, and you win.
Maybe we've been coming at this all wrong, Jeremy. But I tell you what, man, what a final race of round one in our favorite cars at my favorite track. What a last lap to call. I mean, just I wish we could had time to showcase and see what happened and all the carnage that was taking place behind the scenes. But first time, Jeremy, in this car, we've seen 3 different pairs of tandem cars trying to chase each other down to get back to the start-finish line for that checkered flag. And what a finish. I mean, last-second decision to go low. That's what we talked about, split-second decisions. And I don't know. There was just something about it. Something told me the winner was going to come from the second or third row. It wasn't going to come from the first row in that last restart. And I'm glad to see the 43 get it. First ever OP win. Jeremy, you and I have been in that same situation. We remember how it feels to get that first OP win. Both of us have taken a checkered flag over here a time or two. So it's always a good feeling to get that monkey off your back and finally get that win for sure.
Yeah, it's so difficult, especially as an outsider, like trying to join the league. You have yourself against all these guys who've been doing it for years and years and years together. And, you got to make friends the hard way sometimes. But, a lot of these guys are good friends. Dana's been doing it for a while here, so glad to see that. I did not realize that was his first win. So I'm glad he said that. That's kind of cool. But all right, guys, that's it for us here tonight. So tune in if you want to watch our broadcast tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to cover the Pro Sim Racing Alliance Fixed Arc Series. And then Sunday, of course, our staple on Sundays, our Global Racing League Truck Series to continue their 2025 circuit. Dustin, thank you for everything tonight. Good work, and we'll catch you tomorrow. So you guys stay safe. Get your nerd on, and what you got for them?
As always, it's not goodbye. It's just till next time. Stay nerdy.
Back when nothing truly